Good afternoon, fellow educators. I'm Dr. Elarco, and I'm going to help you unlock the potential of innovative pedagogies. And so, here are the objectives of the talk. Define innovative pedagogies, analyze the theoretical foundation of innovative pedagogies, present the operational innovative pedagogies, evaluate the pedagogical trends in the Philippines, and explain the importance of innovative pedagogies. So, are you ready to break free from traditional approaches and dive into the innovation? Let's start with this inspiring story. Let us watch the video.
I have a lot of memories from when I was a child. One that's always stuck out to me though was when I was about 10 years old and I was in school and I struggled. And I didn't struggle with English, math, or science. I struggled holding still. And I would try to listen and focus and process ideas, but I couldn't help myself. And to be honest, I would sit there and then I would just start tapping. And the students in the class would look at me and they'd say, "Hey, stop tapping." A lot of the time, I didn't even realize I was doing it. And then eventually even the teachers got after me and they would yell at me and they'd say, "Clint, you have to stop tapping." It got so bad that I got sent to the principal's office for tapping. And he said to me, "Okay, maybe when you go back to class, just try sitting on your hands." And so I did. I went back to class, and when I felt myself starting to tap, I did this. I sat on my hands. And that worked for about 5 seconds. One time I was tapping in class, and my teacher, Mr. Jensen, he looked at me and he yelled. And he said, "Clint, stay after class." And I thought to myself, this is it. I am done. Now, I've always been the type of person that believes that a single moment in time can change a person's life. And this was one of those moments for me. And I will never forget it. And so I was sitting there with Mr. Jensen and an empty classroom. And he walked past me and he sat next to his desk and he said, "Clint, come here. I want to talk to you." And as he looked me right in the eye, he said, "Now, I need you to know something. You're not in trouble. But I do have just one question that I have to ask you." And he asked, he said, "Have you ever thought about playing the drums?" And in that moment, Mr. Jensen, he leaned back and he opened the top drawer of his desk. And he reached in and he pulled out my very first pair of drumsticks. And he held them in his hands and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, Clint, you're not a problem. I think you're a drummer." And from that moment on, I've never put those sticks down. I've toured, recorded, and played drums all over the world. My whole college education was paid for with drumsticks in my hand. Just because of a single moment in time when somebody believed in me and he saw something in me that I didn't even see within myself. And from that moment, I learned that there's a difference between being the best in the world and being the best for the world.
What a wonderful story, right? So, can we be like Mr. Jensen? A teacher who is sensitive to the need of a student. It's really a wonderful example, right? And while learning innovative pedagogies, let's think about that story. How can we be like Mr. Jensen, who can inspire our students? So let's now define innovative pedagogies. Innovative pedagogies are going beyond by engaging strategies, methods, and tools that create a balanced and effective ecosystem for learning, and ensuring three basic conditions for learners: readiness, willingness, and capability. What are the theoretical foundation of innovative pedagogies? The first is constructivism. It emphasizes the learners must actively construct their own understanding and knowledge through experiences and reflection. Just like in teaching the students how to grow plants, they can have an experiment. The second one is experiential learning. It emphasizes the importance of hands on, real world activities in the learning process. That's why in learning history in a certain subject matter, we can have, you know, a meeting with students and ask them if they would like to visit a museum. The third one is social cultural theory. It emphasizes the importance of social collaboration, language, and cultural tools in cognitive development. That's why we ask our students to participate in a role play. Another one is multiple intelligences theory. It emphasizes that intelligence is a diverse set of intelligences. Educators should design learning experiences that cater to different intelligences to engage all students effectively. We are very much aware of these intelligences, right? Another, connectivism. It highlights the needs for educators to leverage digital tools and online resources to create connected learning environments that foster collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And so we must be sure that our students are in a connected learning environment. So these are the theoretical foundations of innovative pedagogies. These theories serve as bedrock of the operational innovative pedagogies. So let's continue this, and I will give you one by one the operational innovative pedagogies. The first is computational thinking. It refers to the ability to solve problems and think logically in a way that a computer could understand. It involves breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable parts, identifying patterns, and developing algorithms to solve them. So, in the Philippines, this is the trend: the integration of computational thinking into the curriculum to prepare students for the digital age. That's why here in the Philippines, we have already robotics, and some schools are already uh, joining International Robotics Olympiad. So, what is the challenge in this innovative pedagogy? The challenge here is there's limited access to technology and internet connectivity in rural areas that may hinder the implementation of computational thinking programs. There are suggestions. Okay, these are the suggestions in facing the challenge. We can collaborate with local government units and organizations to secure funding for computer labs or mobile learning centers. And another one, we can utilize offline resources and low tech activities to teach computational thinking concepts, such as unplugged coding exercises or paper based puzzles. Filipinos are creative and we are resourceful. I know that you can find ways, we can find ways, right? The second operational innovative pedagogy is remote labs. It allows students to conduct experiments or activities using online platforms, accessing equipment and resources virtually. So the trend in the Philippines is adoption of remote labs to supplement hands-on experiments, especially with the shift towards online and blended learning modalities. One of the examples is providing virtual lab platforms. That is the trend in our country. And the schools are even having collaboration with the universities and companies just to have virtual lab. So the challenge for this is there is inadequate infrastructure and resources that may prevent schools from offering remote lab experiences to students. And this is really true. We know it. These are the suggestions. We can partner with universities or companies to access virtual lab platforms at reduced costs or provide training for teachers to create simple virtual experiments using free online tools. Hmm, nice idea, right? Another, advocate for government support and funding for the development of remote lab infrastructure in schools. Now we are going to the third innovative pedagogy, embodied learning. It incorporates physical movements or activities to enhance learning and understanding. It engages students' bodies along with their minds. So, this is the trend in the Philippines. Recognition of the value of embodied learning in making lessons more engaging and memorable. These are the examples. We incorporate movement based activity in our classes. Okay, just like this, we incorporate theater in a lesson also, and we are very creative really to do this. Our students are very talented. Remember the story of the boy, the student of Mr. Jensen? It is related to this. That's why we need to know the real secrets of our students to be sensitive to their needs, right? So, the challenge for this innovative pedagogy is limited teacher training, and awareness of embodied learning techniques may hinder its adoption in the classroom. So, what can you do? Here are these suggestions. Offer professional development workshops and seminars to educators on incorporating movement based activities into lessons. Another, encourage peer collaboration and sharing of best practices through teacher networks and communities of practice. Nice suggestions. The fourth one, we have adapted teaching. It involves adjusting instruction based on individual student needs, progress, and learning styles. So, the trend in the Philippines, there is an emphasis on adaptive teaching strategies to cater to diverse learning needs in large class sizes. We have personalized learning platforms and adaptive learning. That is another example. We use mobile, yes. And the challenge is large class sizes and varied student needs may pose challenges for teachers to implement adaptive teaching strategies effectively. Yeah, most classes in the Philippines are large, right? This is a big challenge for teachers. So these are the suggestions. We may utilize technology tools such as learning management systems or educational apps with adaptive features to differentiate instruction. And another one, collaborate with school administrators to advocate for smaller class sizes or additional support staff to assist with differentiated instruction. We must address this, fellow teachers, and ask the help of our government. Yeah, much funds are needed, right? The fifth innovative pedagogy, context based learning. It connects classroom learning to real world situations or contexts, making learning more relevant and meaningful to students' lives. And this is the trend in our country. Implementation of project based learning initiatives to provide authentic learning experiences. We are showcasing these activities and even the outputs in our schools. We expose children, right, to present it also just like this. A kid is presenting the project, the output, and that is really good practice in any school. The challenge for this is there's limited access to real world resources, and community partnerships may hinder the implementation of context based learning initiatives. Mhm. Any suggestions? Forge partnerships with local businesses, NGOs, and government agencies to provide students with authentic learning experiences and access to resources. Another is encourage project based learning that allows students to investigate local issues and collaborate with community members. This is very nice. Our students will go out, they will interview, they will know the problems, there can be solutions. We cannot underestimate the intelligence of our kids. The next innovative pedagogy is unintentional learning. It occurs incidentally through experiences or interactions, often without specific instructional intention. So, the trend in the Philippines, creation of immersive learning environments to foster exploration and discovery. That's why we have inquiry based learning. And we do this inside our classrooms. Our students are exposed to this kind of learning. The challenge here, traditional teaching methods and standardized assessments may prioritize rote memorization over experiential and discovery based learning. So, the suggestion, integrate inquiry based learning approaches into the curriculum that encourage curiosity, exploration, and experimentation. Another suggestion is provide opportunities for open ended projects and research assignments that allow for unintentional learning to occur naturally. Are we giving this to our students? I know you do. Open-ended projects are very good researches. Mhm. And I know some of your students are winning in the contest in the research because teachers like us, like you, are really um, very skilled, thinking for the solutions, and you love your work, you love your students, that you like to see them contribute something to our school and society. The next innovative pedagogy is learning through discussions. It promotes active engagement and collaboration among students, allowing them to exchange ideas, perspectives, and knowledge. The trend in our country is embrace of collaborative learning approaches to prioritize student participation. And we do this peer learning. In different classes, we do this. We partner our kids. We form groups just like this to learn something. They will be paired with each other. They will help one another, even in doing assignments, projects. The challenge is cult- cultural norms of passive learning and teacher centered instruction may discourage student participation in classroom discussions. So, here are suggestions. Model effective discussion facilitation techniques and create a supportive classroom environment where students feel comfortable expressing their opinions. Another, incorporate structured discussion protocols and collaborative learning activities to scaffold student participation and engagement. And the last is critical learning. It involves analyzing and evaluating information, fostering critical thinking skills essential for problem solving and decision making. In our country, the trend is to focus on developing critical thinking skills to prepare students for the challenges of the 21st century. We really do it. And we integrate media literacy. Okay? We know that there are so many fake news, and we are teaching our students to recognize, to discern, is that really true? Is that fake news? hmm We check it. We check it, right? And we make them aware, which is true, which is not. So the challenge, there's limited emphasis on critical thinking skills in standardized testing may detract from instructional time dedicated to fostering critical learning. And our suggestions, embed critical thinking tasks and problem solving activities into delay lessons across subject areas. Mhm. I know you do that. You do the problem solving activities inside the classroom. Yes, and we have discussions, right? We help our students to discuss these things and also advocate for the integration of critical thinking skills into national and local curriculum frameworks to emphasize its importance in 21st century education. So I had given you already all operational innovative pedagogies, the trends in the Philippines related to those pedagogies, examples, the challenges, and suggestions. I know that you can give more suggestions, that you can talk with your colleagues, and then in your local seminars you can talk about these things. I know you always have seminars, right? You have it. And why are innovative pedagogies not a choice, but a necessity? It's not a choice, but a necessity. We want to prepare students for the future. That's one thing. We would like to make sure that they will go to the right direction so that they can have a future, a very good future. Of course, meeting diverse learning needs is important. We understand that the students are not the same, they are unique. Everyone is unique. That's why, remember the story of the kid with Mr. Jensen? We must meet the need of each student. And the last, we need to foster engagement and motivation. Mr. Jensen did it in the life of his student. He motivated the kid to become a very good drummer in the whole world, right? And I know that you have students who are excelling now, who have work now, very good in their field of work, and a big help in our society. We teachers are, you know, we are really a big help to our students, to our community, to our country. That's why we produce best doctors, nurses, teachers, and other professionals, laborers, workers. Right. Job well done to all teachers. Job well done. And we need to be, to be content that we choose this profession, okay? And we do not have any regrets in choosing this teaching profession because, even though there are lots of changes, from time to time in the approaches that we need to use in anything that we do. There are always changes, and we are flexible enough to adapt to changes. That is one thing very good about the teachers. So I salute the teachers, very, very talented and skilled, patient, with love. So let's have an inspiration for lifelong learning. According to William Butler Yeats, education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. And another one from Proverbs 22 and 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Wow. See, dear fellow teachers, we have a noble profession. We need to continue. We need to continue searching, researching, and adopt the things that we will learn and to share with our students so that we can have a better place to live in. And our students can have a bright future because of teachers like you. Congratulations to everyone. And I have written here the references of our topic. My contact details are here. My address, email, and cell phone number. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless everyone.